Chen, and today for College Trainers, I'll be interviewing Yuvan and Tushar. Yuvan and Tushar are two inquisitive college students who started a t-shirt and clothing business called One Drop. One Drop is a t-shirt business that you can use when you're designing your club t-shirts, your organization t-shirts, and they let you choose a design, which is one of the best parts of that business. So if you're someone who's looking out for something like this, definitely go ahead and check their account, and they'll get back to you after the live. Until then, put in your questions in the comments and I'll make sure I ask them. I'm just going live with them. I'll be going live with them in a while. And hi. Hi guys.
Hi, Ria.
Hello, can you
Hi,
hear me though?
everyone. Good evening, guys.
I'm good. Okay, so
Hello.
we'll start this interview with me introducing you guys, with me asking you for an introduction. So first, I would want Tushar, you to introduce yourself in a brief 2 lines.
Right. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, Ria. I'm Tushar, and I'm basically a 20-year-old, extremely curious student. And what I basically really want from everything that I'm doing is to learn more and gain some exposure. And that's basically all I'm looking out for.
I feel that's the best thing you can be looking out for in your college years, because wanting to do a business just for the finance or the monetary benefit won't be a smart. But definitely being curious and wanting to learn more and just grow in general is something that
Right.
Yeah,
you want you to
Right.
brief introduce yourself.
yeah, sure. So, hi guys, I'm 19 years old. I'm from the Department of Blockchain has been my thing where I'm just learning about blockchain a lot, and it's pretty cool. You guys should check it out. You should read a couple of articles. I'm a cyclist as well. So yeah, I just race on my weekends or monthly. So yeah, that's it. That's about it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. And One Drop is one different kind. It's a very common startup. A lot of people have clothing and t-shirt startup. So what is one thing that distinguishes One Drop from the other signature clothing and t-shirt startups? Tushar.
Right. So, as you mentioned, we have a lot of competition in this field, and when brands become big, what they tend to forget is how to handle their customers, in a better way. So, as students, we connect with students, and we try to establish that kind of a bond where we're with you from the very start to the very end. And another thing would be, whenever it comes to bulk orders, whenever you order, say, 100 t-shirts, companies usually ship that to one address, to one place. But what we do to make ourselves different is, for instance, if 100 people want their t-shirts at 100 different locations, we will pack them all individually, ship them all individually with their individual labels. So everyone gets exactly what they want at their doorstep.
I feel this is something that especially college clubs from at least my college are currently looking for.
Right.
Because it's a pandemic and every organization or small
Right.
student bodies, small student clubs want their personalized t-shirts, but every vendor they go to would tell them, we're just going to ship at one place, I'm sorry. It's too much work to
Yeah.
ship even 50 t-shirts to respective locations. But if that is your selling point, it's one of the strongest selling points, especially during these times wherein people are not at one location.
Exactly.
Everyone's
Yeah.
at a
Yeah.
separate location.
You know.
Right.
Perfect. Coming to my next question, as you mentioned, the competition is very high. You started with that. So, Tushar, what is one thing that One Drop does continuously to make sure they're ahead of their competitors?
One is we are really concerned, we don't let things go. Not just me, you and I both are very caring people. We really care about how people feel. So we're not just another brand trying to sell our products. We're a brand trying to connect, to network, to get to know more people. So along those lines, I would, say that we painstakingly take care of every small issue, be it 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. If any of us are awake, the issue will be resolved right away, or at least
Yeah.
we'll address the issue. We don't just ignore it like the bigger brands do. So basically, it's that we care.
Hmm.
That's setting us apart.
That's definitely true. I feel Yuvan, when I connected with you for the college runners interview, I think Yuvan was pretty quick in replying to it, and we had a small chat and we got through the interview, and he explained me the product, explained me the model very well. So Yuvan, cheers to that.
Right.
But Yuvan, you've been coming out on LinkedIn, like you've been posting a lot on LinkedIn, and it looks very effortless. So one drop on LinkedIn and posting about entrepreneurship on LinkedIn in general. How much of effort is it actually?
Actually, so initially when I started seeing people post on LinkedIn, I think I was like, okay, fine, it's just gonna be content, weekly one post, or like I mean, daily one post, weekly six posts. It's gonna be fine. So when you start doing it, the third day I was like, oh shit, what am I supposed to post tomorrow? Like, you hit the roadblock, and then it's not just the moment when you post you think about it. It's the throughout the day, like some random thought would hit you, and making note of that point down, I think makes a big difference. And that's what, like, keeps giving you content like every day. Because something which I talk to you now, which I may not know, which I might find interesting, I'll probably just note it down and then probably do some research about it. If I find it really cool, I will probably share it with my network as well. So that's
Yeah.
one thing which I really find it like very, very cool about LinkedIn, because it's such an informative place. And I think people should like check things out there and like, at least spend 15 minutes or like 20 minutes of their day over there.
Yeah. So my reason for asking this question was a lot of people believe that if the founder of a startup has a decent LinkedIn or social media presence in general, the
Hmm.
startup has a greater rate of success or gets a
Hmm.
slight free publicity with the founder's social media presence.
Definitely.
So was that one of the reasons why Tushar you took over that side? No, why you won? Why you took over that side?
Yeah, yeah. So, as you guys know, if just in the simpler terms, if you want to go invest money, you want investors on board or something, the investors don't invest in the startup, they invest in the people. The people are the ones which matter more than the idea, right?
Yeah.
So, when you're doing something like that, I think that building a personal brand for both of us personally, as with Tushar and myself, I think that was very important. And I think like LinkedIn was one thing which I found really cool for some reason. It's just so cool because you can approach anybody. Like I can just just take Ferrari CEO. I can probably just text him and get in touch with him. Like the replies, the
Yeah.
people you can connect with is just so cool and so the range is very big. So that's one thing which I
Yeah.
found really cool. So I think people should check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I feel a strong social media presence in today's world is the first step of marketing or publicity that a
yeah,
small startup can get into
yeah,
because
exactly.
people believe in the person a lot. Like that does impact a lot. A personal connection. As Tushar mentioned, that you guys are thriving on it, where you ensure that you are personally connected to your customers and the customers believe in you and they believe the fact that you are going to be there from the start to the end of their entire purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's social media day today. And one of my key questions is how difficult is starting a startup's entire social media? Like people assume that social media is a very easy thing to get. What do you have to do? You have to post, you have to write a caption, and that's it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
is that it? Is that it for social media on startups?
Not at all. Not at
I
all.
saw, like when I was saying this question, I saw both of us go
So,
like, no, you're targeting this question and it's not.
yeah, because
Who
I
handles
mean,
the social media mainly
You won,
out
uh,
of the two?
entirely you won.
yeah.
Go
So
ahead,
I'll just
Yuvan.
give you like a small bit of it, like what it's about and how people should go about it, because we haven't mastered that yet, and I think we should. Because if you check out our Instagram, it's not much, it's not very great, it's not like very appealing. It's like not, oh, you can't just go and buy clothes if you just see our Instagram. It's not like that. And one more thing like which Tushar and I are really trying to push is video content from like the people, like from the creators of both of us, which we just aren't like ready, or like we just don't want to do it now. We want to get people to do that. So I think we should like change that. I think we should jump into something where we can create content and interact with the people directly and get them on board. So that's one thing which I think we should really try, and from both of our end. So that's one thing. And the second thing is the same issue which I have with posting on LinkedIn as well. Like, some days you just have like six
Yeah.
thoughts or like six ideas in one day, and the next week you have nothing, like absolutely nothing. So we've faced that so many times with OneDrop because we used to post like regularly, like 6 times a week, the first week, because whenever we get an order, that's when we get content, right? The next week, if we don't get any orders, we won't have content. We gotta like make something up. So if we have some content for this week and then we've posted and we've like exhausted our content, next week we're just like sitting saying, okay, let's do something. Let's do something. Let's do
Yeah.
something. But we have nothing to do. So I think spacing out your content like at regular intervals, if you have like 10 posts, make sure you have enough for tomorrow and just space things out. That's one thing which we learned the
Yeah.
harder way. Yeah.
I feel consistency is not really appreciated, but it should be. Like being consistent on
Yeah.
Instagram is not as easy as it looks. That okay,
Absolutely.
that's
Definitely not.
And like it's something that's really, it's ignored. Not a lot of people really understand that it's very difficult to be consistent, not just on Instagram on your product page or something like that, but even in your life, it's a really important skill that you should really try to build. Being consistent, like consistently, is also a really important skill that will help you grow.
Yeah. Extremely
100%.
underrated.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about consistency, as you mentioned, that the orders are definitely not consistent. At a time you get the orders, then there will be a time when you don't. And there will be a
Yeah.
time when you're getting three together. So when there are times when you all are not getting orders, definitely it's like that scary point where you are like, okay, what's happening? Are we doing something wrong? And you're having discussions that what can be improved or where we can work on. So how often does this kind of a discussion happen? And have you all ever led it to wanting you all to give up or had that discussion that where is this going? Tushar.
Right. So, like obviously every business has their down points, and there are times when you have no orders and no work going on. But one thing about Yuvan and me is that both of us are really positive people, and whatever be the issue, our approach is how do we solve it? How do we get more orders? We've like till now we've never thought of a point where we want to shut one drop because you don't have any orders at hand. And so what just motivates us is that, we've done this much. Why would we stop now? We can always push ourselves a little harder, find more techniques. And both of us are also engaged in a lot of other activities, so like other internships. It's not just this one thing we're doing. So we learn from there and implement it here. So we keep learning new things and trying to implement new things for OneDrop, which, consistently does
Yeah.
produce results, not big always, but results in general.
I'm so glad. And like, this is very important. I mean, you highlighted this pretty well that if you're a small college startup or a college organization, working at just that and spending your entire time on that is one of the reasons why you get so attached to it. And any small issue makes you want to understand why it's happening and you take it up really big. But since you guys do have other things to look at, you're always know that, okay, we'll come back to this later. And one of the other reasons that I feel is why you guys do not or think of giving up is what you started with, Tushar. You started with saying that you guys are curious people, and this OneDrop is one of your starters where you want to make sure you learn. You want to make sure you grow and
Yeah.
network and understand how the startup works. Since that is your main goal with OneDrop, is also one of the reasons why you all are like, it's okay if you don't get orders. We are learning on the go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Great, glad. So, with respect to orders, what is your best customer story, Tushar? Like one of the most interesting customer stories you've ever had.
See, the most interesting customer story is very different from the best customer story because the best customer wasn't the most interesting customer, but it was when we were dealing with very high profile clients, we being a small startup and both of us are just Chennai boys at the end of it, right? So speaking to a brand that's listed, speaking to a company that has a huge network with a fancy car and, all of that happening, it was a pretty fascinating experience for us. Like, that was when we felt like we were genuinely achieving what we wanted to achieve because we were speaking to someone who is at a much higher stature than us, who has a lot more business experience. So connecting with them was, I feel, we did not get the order. We didn't make any sales, but we eventually did make the contact, right? So
Yeah.
that was one of the very interesting, but they can be a client in the future. So that was a very interesting conversation that we had, both of us.
Yeah, and like not to add on to that, so one of our first customer, I think. So that person was like one of the best. Okay, so one of the best customers we had till now, and the good thing was I never knew like getting into college order was that easy because the first order was just very easy for us. We were like, oh, that's it. Okay, that's so cool. Like we were like, okay, and then we learned. I was like, oh, okay, so much is there. So the first time what happened was we got the order and we got 7 leads just like that, like from that person. That person was nice enough to give it to us. We were like, okay, that's so sweet. So, and like next month of our sale or next 2 months was just based on those leads. We were like, oh, this is fun. So you can just do this, like get one person, just spread it out. It's like just like a tree, just like keeps going.
Yeah.
But then when
Right.
we realized like everybody's not that nice and everybody's not like that, we're like, okay, fine, let's like calm down. Let's start like structuring things out.
Right.
Let's start working
We were
things
we were
out.
very lucky to have a good start that way, because of that one client who was really sweet, who really wanted to help us out. So that was a
Yeah,
great start for us. But soon after that, we did come across a huge mistake we made, and all of that is a part and parcel of business, right? So that's something we'll never forget. And so as there are the good sides and the bad sides, it's about how you deal with the good when it's good, and how you deal with the bad when that comes as well.
Yeah.
yeah,
So talking about like, as you mentioned, word of mouth publicity is one of the very strong things that a startup thrives on. Because you're a startup. Definitely, if you say, hey, Ria, you want a Zara top, my instinct is gonna be, I trust the quality. I know it's a bigger brand. I'm definitely gonna. But if I just see an ad, or if someone calls me up and recommends me one drop, there's a big difference. Because since
definitely,
it's a startup, a word of mouth publicity, as you mentioned, that network and those 7 clients, they are much easier to get than doing an ad campaign
100%.
and
Yes.
posting on Instagram and trying to wait until someone DMs you. That's definitely a longer process. But one of the questions that I just received in my DMs and I just checked it out and I
hmm
want to ask is, how did you all know and when did you all know it's the right time to launch one drop?
Okay, so this one is a little different because initially Tushar and I were the only like I'd say productive ones or the ones who were doing something during the first lockdown because everybody messed their sleep schedule. Everybody had fun the first 3 4 months. Everybody did whatever Netflix, and then
Yeah.
after that we were like, okay, this doesn't seem like it's gonna end. It's gonna go longer. Let's do something. So then we started like putting things together, saying, okay, these are the things these are the things I know. How can we, combine them and do something productive? So then we're like, okay, let's get into something, some simpler business, and like let's learn business. So then we got into a variety of different other products, and then we discovered clothing, and then we found it very interesting, very comfortable for us because we were comfortable selling because we know it was really good. Like the manufacturers the people who we got, they were all like great. So we were like, okay, we trusted this product, and we were like, okay, let's go ahead with it. So that's when we started this, and we didn't expect a good start initially because everybody in the lockdown had their own like e-commerce store, small business. Everybody like there was so much coming up. So like, okay, we're just one of them like coming up. What big deal? What can we do? So then when we started entering different colleges, different events, and getting recognized, and someone like from my college, some random person, when I call them up, I mean, they call me up for something else, and they say, "Are you the one drop guy?" That is cool. You're like you people know about you based on the brand you've built. That's just we just feel like, oh, okay, we've done a good job, like yeah. So that's one
Yeah.
thing where we felt really good about building a brand for ourselves, like yeah.
I say I would definitely agree to this one because I'm from Manipal and like my college opened for a while in the middle. And I went there, I was at a house party and we were all talking and someone randomly comes to me and they're like, you are that college planners girl, no? And I was like, you know me and you know me. And that does definitely make you
Yeah.
realize that you meet
Okay, it's a
someone who
bigger
is
impact.
not your, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I feel that I definitely agree to that. Coming
Yeah.
towards the launch, since I just got a question, I got one more question that
hmm
says,
hmm
the rough patches, as Tushar was talking about, there's definitely been some rough patches. How do you
Yeah.
deal with those rough patches? And how does it impact the relationship between the two founders?
Okay, so initially, we did have few things like after the good orders, we definitely had like bad orders, like bad, like no things. So
Yeah.
the only good thing was we never like let each other down. Like I would make mistakes, he would make mistakes. Both of us would generally like mess things up at some point of time. It's just human tendency. So any point, one person would be stable saying, okay, like what's next? Like okay, stop panicking. Like no, let's figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. It's probably just money, and we can figure it out. So that was one thing where both of us were very supportive of each other. And another very important thing that probably helped the growth of the brand was we never postponed work. Like whenever we gave or like got work from each other, we would do it within the next 15 minutes, like however big or small the work was. Next 15 to 20 minutes, the work would be done. Unless it's like, calling someone the next day. But otherwise, the work would just be done. Things would be planned, scheduled. So I think that was one of the main things that both of us were able to do. Because if I could just call
Hmm.
Tushar up and he's like, not today, tomorrow, then nothing would have happened. So that's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of the reasons why both of us are working on this together, because both of us, like I mentioned in the start, are curious people and we have that drive, that dedication to get things done as soon as it comes our way. And
Yeah.
that's a really important thing. We hate saying tomorrow, day after, unless we really have to. If it can be done now, it should be done now. That's something that both of us strongly believe in,
Yeah.
and we stick by it, and we stuck by it so far. Hopefully, we'll stick by it even further from now
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I was talking about the launch before this question,
Hmm.
before someone asked this question, when y'all got the idea to launch a t-shirt business, y'all were curious, y'all wanted to not waste your lockdown into screwing up your sleep schedule, as you mentioned, but definitely be productive and get something out of the lockdown. Could be
Hmm.
growth, could be even a failed startup is a big growth in a person's life.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
could be anything that y'all want out of this. When y'all got the idea and until you actually went ahead and named it One Drop, from the idea until getting the name, getting it out there, how long did that take and what was it like? So, Shah, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So, like we mentioned, we hate postponing work, right? So, the second we thought that we wanted to do something, the name came up, Yuvan came up with the name entirely. So, it's entirely his choice. He chose the name, and Yuvan is the more creative person, the guy with the creativity, the idea, and the design. So, all that's totally up to him. I do not question him because he knows what he's doing. So, the same thing applies to the name as well, since he came up with the name and it was cool. I mean, there's not really that much in a name according to both of us. So we picked the name, we went ahead with it. And this was in, I think, July last year. And we actually started off with other products. We were doing phone cases, we were doing sports jerseys, of pre-existing teams. We weren't really manufacturing our own products. We weren't building our brand. So that went on from July to August, September, and September, October was the time when we started out, thinking about how we should build our brand ourselves and not just pick up products
Hmm.
and just, sell it as
Yeah.
someone else's product. So that started around October. So that's when we formally started off on the clothing journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tushar, you want to
And
add to
to,
this?
yeah, to add on to this, regarding the name, One Drop, why we got that was because our business model is based on a drop shipping business model. So One Drop is that what we got the word from, and we found it
Yeah.
like very catchy for people to remember because that's one of the main things any brand should follow is if someone hears your brand once, when they go home, they should remember it. Like that's the first thing, okay? And the
Yeah.
second thing, I'll just explain what drop shipping is to people who don't know. So drop shipping is a business model where we don't have any manufacturers. We just outsource our manufacturing. So once we get the order, we place the order with the manufacturer. So there is no investment involved as well. So that was one of the biggest driving factors for Tushar and I were well, okay, there's no money involved. It's just our time and energy. Let's go ahead with it. Like we didn't want to depend on our
Yeah.
parents. So that's one thing as well.
Right.
Oh wait, I see a
That's
question.
something that we've,
Yes.
right. Sorry, yeah, you want to go ahead.
Yeah.
One second. I just see a question. You want to read out? Yeah.
I'll be taking that up just after this.
Sure.
So,
Sure. Sure.
branding, as you mentioned, is really important because you must have a company name that a person can take back. Like if today they're watching this live, they're
Right.
gonna listen One Drop, they're gonna see One Drop on your t-shirts, and they're gonna take it back and probably not forget about it.
So definitely branding
Right.
and getting that name very unique and at the same time unique so that once they Google your thing is the first thing that pops up. But at the second time it has to be a name that's very easy to remember. You can't have a very complicated name where people mess up the
Yeah,
spelling, people mess up the name and they do not remember it when they're actually looking forward to Googling it when they need to.
exactly.
So there's
Yeah,
a question that said that someone has startup ideas and they overthink getting through with it because they feel that most of their ideas are not going to get through, they're not going to be successful. And
hmm
what would you like to say to someone like this?
Okay, so
So I think
yeah, go ahead.
before anything, I think I would just like to say that unless you really try it, you'll never know if it's going to go through, right? You can't just sit at home and speculate that it's not going to work. And unless you believe that it's going to work, it actually won't work. Even if you start it, it's not going to work. So the first thing with starting anything off is to believe that you've got it in you to make it happen. And once you've got that, then I think you should just start off immediately because it will not fail. If you have that drive, that determination, it will happen. It needs to come from within you. You know, if someone's motivating you saying, go do that because you're good at it, it's not going to happen. It has to come from within
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, I
a
feel
very
I
important thing.
recently, yeah. Go ahead, Tushar.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So I'm saying that, especially when you have ideas about startups or anything, the only important thing which I really feel anybody should do is just talk to people, saying that, okay, this is my idea, this is a product I have, will you buy it? Like, if someone says, will you buy it? Like, the product market fit is what essentially should matter because we aren't like a startup because we aren't anything like a tech side. We're just like a small e-commerce business. Okay. So if you
Yeah,
have a startup with a tech product or a product or a service, you should ask people and you should get the product market fit from a lot of people. Like just feedback makes a lot of difference to just kick it off.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like
Validate your idea.
yeah, validating your idea plus starting because once you start, the will to wanting it to become successful will come from within. You can't
Yeah,
expect,
definitely.
as Tushar mentioned, people coming to you and telling you and motivating you because the exact opposite is bound to happen when you're starting a startup. Then
Yeah.
people are gonna come to you and tell you, "अरे नहीं चलेगा, क्या कर रहा है? Why are you wasting time? Why don't you study?
Yeah.
Or why don't you
Yeah.
sit for placements? Or why are you not doing this and that?" So a little opposite is gonna happen. So you must have the inner motivation to wanting it to succeed and the co-founder there to motivate you because you might at
Yes,
times feel that you're doing something wrong. But
definitely.
having an external source out there and listening to motivational talks could not work specifically at this area. This is something that I
Yep.
genuinely feel. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, when you do a startup, there's a lot of things happening where people are telling you, क्या कर रहा है यार? Why are you putting your time at this? Or ये तो
Mhm.
unique भी नहीं है, कैसे चलेगा? Because all startup ideas have to be unique. Like, they're like Swiggy
Right.
and Zomato. They're not very unique ideas. One, Uber, Ola se ही they've come out. But they did succeed, right?
Yeah. So,
So this is one thing I always say, unique. People run behind it has to be a unique idea,
no, not at
or it
all.
has to be something that has never happened before. So how often do you hear the negative side of it, wherein people are like, it's not unique, it might not work out, or
Yeah.
because a startup does have wherein people are telling you it might not work out.
100%.
So
Yeah.
how do you all deal with that?
Yeah. So, like a few days ago, I actually posted a blog based on this saying that, the idea need
I
not be
know, I did
unique.
see it.
Yeah. So, I came across this a lot of times because, see, personally, no offense to anybody, but the concept of working a startup idea in stealth, which is like in secretly, is very difficult for like most of the products and services. So unless you go and get feedback, it need not be unique. It just needs to be an addition or an extra service that you're providing to the customers. Even the satisfaction you're providing is a big thing. It's a huge thing. So if you're able to sell satisfaction to customers, you can be like probably like a huge company. So unless like you have something unique for the customer, if you can provide something extra for them, I think you can do the same thing what Apple does, and I think it'll be all fine, you know. So yeah, it's just about how you carry forward it and how you can like excel in that one thing which you do extra.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a question I had received when I posted about OneDrop,
hmm
and which was a clothing startup. most of them always startup, specifically startup, and at a very small, start. Very few startups are able to make it big, especially in the clothing niche, because as mentioned, the competition is very high, etc., etc. So, with One Drop, have you all ever thought of, okay, it's okay if it just remains small, or are you all always planning it to make it a bigger picture? Because someone told me that they want to have a clothing startup idea, but they always fail to execute it because they feel it's never gonna become a big startup, get this big funding, etc., etc. So does that ever come to your mind, and how do you all deal with it?
Yeah, Tushar, go ahead.
Right, right. So basically, I would like to say that, dreaming big is a part of it, right? And you start anything, I think looking at the highest peak is something that you definitely should do. I mean, if you don't dream big, you're never going to get there.
Yeah.
So with us also, it's definitely, we are targeting the top. We are targeting the biggest players. We are targeting the corporate sector. And, we know that it's not going to happen anytime soon, and it requires a lot of work that's going to go in. And every day, some consistency, some work, some kind of effort that has to go in towards this goal, especially to make it big, that has to keep happening. But then again, like I mentioned, positivity is really important in this aspect again. That, for instance, if something, even the smallest thing, if it doesn't go your way, it's about how you deal with that rejection and still stay on your long-term goal. So with a lot of people saying, our startup won't make it big and we won't get our funding, we won't get this, we won't get that. So, I mean, if you don't get funding from one company, it's not the end of it. If you don't get the order one time, it's definitely not the end of it. So it's all about sticking at it and waiting for that time when it actually happens, because everything you do, all the effort you put in, it is going to pay at the end. I mean, it just can't go waste, right? Everything you do definitely is going to have a bigger outcome, and it's just about how long you can stay at it to get the results properly. So I think aiming for the skies is definitely on our list, and we are looking to go really big. And I mean, we are small right now, but we won't stay small because we know that we will do everything it takes to make it big.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things that a co-founder must keep saying to themselves and their co-founder, because it's super important to believe that you are going to succeed. And one thing that I'd say is, whenever you do not get a funding, the investor is definitely going to explain you why, and that might help you improve.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe add a few features to your product, or remove some feature of your product. Could be any small thing, and you will get better every time you pitch your idea to someone. You will get better every time you make a mistake, every time you receive a negative feedback, because positive feedbacks are bound to come. Like, we are seeing a lot of positive comments. They are bound to come, but a few negative feedbacks might lead to you improving on your quality or your style of shipping the product. Someone might tell you they expected a better cover or packaging. It could be as small as, hey Tushar, could you make sure my packages are in this particular manner next time? And if you start making sure, and someone else tells you, hey, the packaging was very nice, you'll improve that. So very small things are bound to happen, and you will improve on the go. But wanting to enter the market and become a Myntra immediately is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So do not enter the startup market wanting to become a Swiggy, Zomato. Enter small and go get there. I'm sure Swiggy had so many advancements with their products. Like, initially they were this, that, now they've come up with more features. Every time you open Swiggy, they're coming up with new features. So that is one thing that I just... Yeah,
like, take Zomato. It's been here for 7 years. Like, 5 years ago, people didn't know Zomato existed. So Zomato had to take its own time to come up the ladder, right? So obviously things are going to happen slowly. That's one thing. And the second thing which I want to add on was, any entrepreneur you take, they're ready to go to the extremes of it. Like, they know the goods and the bads. So like, they are ready for the bads of it. So if startup, it's not going to go well, they know it, they're ready for it. So like, unless you're okay with it, and unless you're able to let go of anything to just come and do it, I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you should really be able to take the lows to see the highs, If you should really accept it. Like, if something doesn't happen your way, you should take it in your stride and just learn from it. like I mentioned before, it's not like we both are perfect. We have a million flaws. We make a million errors every day. But what makes us better the next day is that we accepted that mistake and we fixed it. It's not that we were like, yeah, we made a mistake. Now we're finished. We have nothing left. It's never been that way, and that's how it's supposed to be, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I am going live from Rajasthan, from a very small town near Ajmer. And I was going live and I was talking to a friend and he's like, yeah, what if your network, stops? And I'm like, if it does stop, I'm going to text them and tell them my network's not working. Let's reset it. What more wrong could it do? I mean, they understand that network is a thing that's out of my control. So they're like,
humans
oh,
are
okay.
slow.
Yeah. And I'm like, so that's fine. And they're like, okay, you have like a backup. And I'm like, it might happen. I might mess the network up. And someone might just walk in from the door because it's not logged, because I stay in a joint family currently. But that's okay. I feel I can't have a very perfect aesthetic life every time. I can't have a
that's fine.
aesthetic background or a ring light every time when I'm doing a live.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah. Thank you so much, Ati. Tushar,
I
you had
mean,
a very
along
good
these
point.
lines,
Yeah, Tushar, you had a very good point where you said that mistakes are bound to happen. You do not have to, every time you make a mistake, walk out of the line, but maybe try to fix it. Maybe explain why that mistake happened and how it could, you would make sure it doesn't happen again. Get them as you mentioned, you all thrive on customer relationships. Make sure the customer feels more satisfied and comfortable talking to you about, hey, there was other things that you could improve at. Go ahead, Tushar.
and along these lines, like you just mentioned, the customer feeling it. One thing that makes us stand out is that we're students, right? And students connect. So when we're talking to other college clubs, and initially when we started out, one of the things we thought of was we want to do something where we connect with people our age, because there's going to be that bond, right? So if you call up someone for an order, it's not just the order. It's like, what's up? How are things? You have exams going on? Yeah, I understand. And that kind of a bond needs to be there. That makes it a little more special. An edge over the competition, I would say, because if you call a top tier company and ask them for a t-shirt and you say, I have exams now, can I call you back later? They're going to say, no, don't come back. But in our case, it's always that special touch that we always look to, hold on and keep it that way.
That's a very smart market audience chosen, straight up. It's like, let's choose a market audience that we can handle.
We're comfortable with them, and we're able to communicate in such a way that they're able to understand as well. So it's a good way. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm almost coming towards the end of my questions, and I want to know if you all have anything to add to the life.
I mean nothing, because let's just say one thing. If you have any idea, if you're hesitant, there's no point in hesitating, and there's not much time left. So whenever you get anything, just do it then and there. It may be a small thing or a big thing, just do it now. So that's one thing which I want to say.
Yeah. Tushar?
Right. So with the startup culture, especially in India, the whole community, India's culture tells you 1 in 10 startups go through, 9 out of 10 fail. So everyone who wants to start that out, everyone can be that one, because the other 9 who are going to fail, they knew inside that they're going to fail. It's that one person who knows that they're going to win, who actually makes it really happen. So I really feel like anyone who has an idea, be it the smallest idea like you once said, it does not matter. Even if your customers are going to be 5 customers at the end of 10 years, it does not matter. If it gives you happiness, if it gives you what you want, just go ahead with it. And I'm sure it will pick up. All you need is just a small amount of belief in yourself. And it'll take off, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. For the question that says that if you get an idea and you Google and you see a lot of similar ideas, should you proceed with that idea? Yes, proceed with it.
Definitely.
And improve on the idea eventually. Yeah.
If you have competitors in the market, it means the market is good. It means the market has a lot of potential. So just take it in the positive way. So more the people, the better it is. You have a larger market to serve. So that's the advantage.
Yeah. Look at it this way. If you're sitting for placements, you know there are 100 more people sitting for the same job. Will you not sit for it? You will, and you will write that exam, and you will wait for them to tell you, hey, you could not get into. So that could happen. There's a very strong chance that you enter the startup world, and it could happen that the startup fails, and that's completely normal. Yeah. coming towards the end of the live, this live was a lot about OneDrop, but again, it was a lot about entrepreneurship culture in general. I was interviewing two curious entrepreneurs. This was bound to happen. I was prepared that your questions are going to generally revolve around what entrepreneurship you all want to focus on. So thank you so much. I'll be taking up 5 more rapid fire questions when I want you guys to answer
Sure.
quickly. Perfect. So who is bound to wake up late and miss out a deadline among the two of you?
I think me. I take that. I think I'll be the one who oversleeps, and that's happened numerous times. I have missed an exam as well because I overslept.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm definitely that person.
He's like, see, I miss everything. So like, just do not target me that I miss OneDrop stuff. I miss exams also. I miss a lot of things. Okay, Tushar. Coming to my second question. Who is one of those people who would, get an order and then, party or celebrate even with the smallest orders? Who ends up
I think that's
celebrating
me.
small victories more?
Yeah, I think the first excited person would be me, and then we would realize, oh shit, it's not profitable. I'm like, oh, okay, but okay, we got an order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The third, coming to my third question. When it comes to support, who is the strongest support system?
Oh, Tushar is a way bigger support. I just
I
like,
mean,
yeah, I just, whatever information I have, it's all raw. So I just say it like anger or like whatever emotion. So he's the one saying, okay, this happened. Okay, fine. Let's just proceed. Like, in majority of the cases, he's the one who supports.
I
Yeah.
think that's because of the good sleep he gets.
Yeah, point.
Okay. Fourth, who is the one who will come out with a lot of ideas in a meeting when you all are having a call, but after the call, when you call them again and ask them about the idea, would forget?
I mean, the idea is it's all Yuvan's. I mean, I'm going to give that to him. My creativity is negative. And, I'm horrible with. I've told him on numerous occasions, if something solves a purpose, that's all I care about. And he's like, no. Like, for instance, our Instagram itself, like the little aesthetic character that our Instagram has is all because of him. And I honestly, it doesn't bother me. So it's Yuvan who comes up with all the ideas, all the creative thinking. That's completely up to him. And about forgetting ideas, I don't think that really happens because both of us have the habit of writing it down.
Yeah, yeah.
So that doesn't really happen with us.
Perfect. Coming to my last question, a lot of co-founders do not appreciate each other in public. So I want you guys to appreciate the other one and how good it is to be a part of a team in which they exist.
Yeah, like genuinely, because we haven't appreciated each other in any way, actually. We just say, good job, okay, let's move on. Like, we haven't said
Yeah, so
anything.
I wanted to highlight the best qualities that Tushar has that have aided OneDrop's success.
Yeah, okay, so I'll go first. So Tushar is actually a very good, very supportive person for anything you do. So if anybody is looking out for a startup co-founder, you have the man right here. So that's one thing. And second thing is pretty systematic. And so that's what I'm saying. Any work I give more than me, he does it faster than me. So anything which I just give, he just does it. Like before I even see the reply, he's just done with it. So that's one thing. So he's very quick at his work and very supportive. And I'd say he's very good at finance as well, like very good with numbers. So yeah.
Tushar, go ahead for Yuvan.
Great. Yuvan, thank you so much for that. It really means a lot. And I mean, where do I even start? I mean, Yuvan's, when people say don't pick your friend as a co-founder because it can lead to problems later. When I look at Yuvan, that's absolutely opposite. That's completely not true, because being a friend, he's someone I can talk to openly about issues that happen. And that's a very important thing, I don't have to think. Like if I have an issue, I tell him and he's going to help me sort it out. Be it OneDrop, be it anything. So it's about a personal connect and him being a nice human being in general that really sets him apart. And other than that, like I told you, our entire social media handle, all the aesthetics, all of the design culture, because he's a designer as well. So all that's completely on him. And like he mentioned, finance is just a small part of it. And Yuvan does handle a lot of everything, he has that character that he can do everything. There's nothing that, and even if he doesn't know, he has this nature that forces him to learn stuff as soon as possible, and he learns stuff really, really fast and gets really good at it as well. So that really helps both of us get more out of each other.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
Whenever I'm interviewing co-founders, this is my favorite question to ask, and I love the replies that the co-founders have for this
Yeah,
question.
even I love the reply. It's just so nice to hear.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this does happen when you're working with someone. You get so comfortable that you forget that you have to appreciate as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's just one very important thing that co-founders ignore, and I always try to highlight the fact that take one day in a month and ensure to the co-founder that, hey, you remember that thing you did this month? That was really nice, and I am so glad I'm the founder with you. So
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
genuinely glad you guys have this amazing chemistry where things have been working out, and I really hope you'll have the same chemistry wherever you all go.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I think
Right.
that's one of
We
the
will.
major
Yes,
strengths
yes.
of One Drop of both of us. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so Yuvan, we need a blog on this really soon. I'm giving a content idea.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I need credit for the idea though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for doing this with me. It was a great live, and came up with a lot of comments where people said that this live was really interesting, and people have DM'd me the same. That's why I was coming close and opening my DMs. Where people are telling me this live is doing really great. So good job, guys, and much more power to you as well. So go
Yeah,
ahead,
thank you
have a
so
good day,
much.
and
Yeah, thank
good
you so
luck with
much.
One Drop
Enjoyed
and
it so
whatever.
much. Yes,
I'm so glad.
absolutely.
Right. Thank you so much, Rhea. Have a great day, and thank you for being an excellent host as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I'm really
And
looking
yep,
forward to the
looking
interview,
forward to.
I'm looking forward to your interview, the person interviewing you. So yeah, see you there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. See you.
See you. See you.